God has called you with a holy calling based on what He has already predestinated and seen of you. We see this again in Romans 8:28. See, we always hear all things work together for good, and that's true in part. Why do I say in part? Because there's a couple words before that we forget. For we know all things work together for good to those that love God and call them to His purpose. Do you know? Yes. Do you know that what you're going through is going to work out together for the good? See, in John 8, it says, we hear the saying, the truth will set you free. Again, that's only true in part. It's the truth you know and understand what sets you free, folks. If you don't understand or know the truth, you can't be fully free. If you dealt with addiction, if you understand the power of that addiction, you understand the stronghold. Amen? But when you understand and know the power of the addiction breaker, you know the truth. You have the power to overcome it. Am I speaking to anybody?
Amen. Amen.
He's called us with a holy calling based on His grace and purpose for our lives. What's the purpose that God has for your life? God will cause our faith through life's situations to become stronger so that we can become a world changer. There's an ancient Jewish wisdom that says this. When we save or change just one person's life, God looks at that as us saving and changing the entire world. Here's the flip side. If we destroy one person, God looks at that as destroying the entire world. So are you changing and saving, or are you destroying? The story of Esther, this is something as I was praying to God and asking God to give me a word for tonight. God brought me back to the book of Esther. For those of you who don't know, I am a Messianic Jew. And we just got done celebrating the high holy holiday of Purim. The book of Esther is the only book in the entire Bible that does not mention the word God or Yahweh once. The reason for that is because God is working behind the scenes. See, Esther, this Jewish girl who didn't want anybody to know who she was brought with several other women in the land before a king because the current queen refused to do what the king had instructed. So his advisors said, hey, let's search out the land for another queen to overtake her. Well, Mordecai, a Jewish man, took in his niece, who became his daughter, Esther. Long story short, Esther became favored with the king. Are any of you being favored? See, here's a woman who came from nothing. In fact, if they would have known who she was from the get-go, they would have killed her. But because she was God's anointed, God's elect. God says, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. Later on, there was a guy named Haman who found out who Esther was and decided, we are going to kill the entire camp of Jews in this region. Esther said, not on my watch. She had to be asked by the king to come. She went to the king and said, we have a situation. Instead of Mordecai, her uncle, and her being killed, the guy that planned the attack was in turn killed. God raised up Esther to save an entire nation. That is why we celebrate Purim, because God worked behind the scenes to bring about His will, to bring about His favor, His goodness. So again, when you don't feel like God is in the situation that you're in right now, I guarantee you He is. He's working behind the scenes, just like He did in Esther. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but folks, I tell you by the Spirit of God, He is working, He is moving. See, He's here. Our faith is, He has His destiny, His promise for us right here. He's waiting for our faith to catch up to Him. Amen. Y'all are getting it tonight. His promise, His goodness, the very thing that He has for us is right here, because that's where His blessing is. That's where His prosperity is.